Hi folks. Recently in Asia, between China, communist China, and Japan, there was an incident involving a Chinese fishing vessel ramming into a Japanese patrol boat. And this incident created or resurrected emotions in both countries towards one another. And they were not good emotions, kids. Resulting in, one weekend, on a Saturday, there was a massive demonstration in both China and Tokyo. But the one in Tokyo had about 4,000 people in this demonstration. And from what I'm told from the people in Japan, that by Japanese standards, that was a large demonstration. I'm also told by many people in Japan who sent me messages that that demonstration was virtually ignored by the news media in Japan because they accused the news media in Japan of being leftist and communist sympathizers. To which I have to say, really? So you think you're the only one with a news media like that? Oh no. We here in the United States, we are burdened with such a news media also, which I will get into later on. So we have these 4,000 people that march in this demonstration, and here is a small video clip. That video was sent to me by a demonstrator in Tokyo who sent me the video clip to use in this video. And I have a link to the full video in the description with another link to another video on that demonstration. And to the people in Japan, that's probably the most you've seen about that demonstration in reference to your news media virtually having a blackout about that, according to the messages I received. Well, now, in China on the same day, there were massive demonstrations about the people in China expressing their displeasure to Japan in reference to the incident. Now, I am not taking away from the emotions of the Chinese students, university students, that participated in these demonstrations in China. What I will say is, those demonstrations only took place in China, either because they were instigated by the commies, or they had to receive outright permission from the commies. And here's why I say that. No demonstrations like that take place in China without the approval of the commies in Beijing. Proof? Take a Tibetan flag, walk into Tiananmen Square, and just wave that flag. And see how long it is before you are pounced upon by commies. Now, I understand in Tiananmen Square demonstrations are rather sensitive because 20 years ago the commies massacred thousands of demonstrators there. So I can understand the sensitivity there. But this to illustrate that throughout the country in China, demonstrations of a large scale do not take place unless the commies approve it. And it's also reported that those students in China vandalized one or two Japanese establishments. Now, getting back to Japan, I compared your news media with that of the United States news media. Well, we here in the United States of America, we have a left-leaning, communist-dominated news media also, to which you were probably saying, really? Sure enough, the land of the free, the home of the brave, has been infiltrated by commies on all levels, specifically Hollywood, academia, the Democratic Party, and the news media. August 28, 2010, Washington, D.C. There was a demonstration, a rally of about 500,000 conservative Americans. The news media in the United States virtually ignored those demonstrations, ignored that rally, because it was a conservative rally. So we seem to be afflicted with the same disease in our news media in these United States as you are afflicted with your news media in Japan. But you see, here in the United States, we have something called conservative talk radio, where on the AM stations, where we can get the opposing view from the news media on television. In addition, we have the internet. The funny thing is, the people in Japan, in order to find out about the demonstrations, they went to the internet, accessed the Chinese commie news agencies to find out about the demonstrations in Japan. Could you? They couldn't access the Japanese news media. They had to go to the commie news media to find out what's going on in Japan. What's that all about, kids? So now some of you have written me and stated that perhaps you need to demonstrate in front of the news media outlets in Japan to express your displeasure towards their left-leaning and news blackouts. Why? They do not care what you think, the news media. You want to affect them? You affect them with the money. That's how you affect them. And how do you affect their money? They're advertisers. If you want to hold demonstrations, hold those demonstrations in front of the people or the companies that advertise on those news network stations during those news hours. That's who you demonstrate in front of, the advertisers. And the advertisers will then tell the news media, you either cut it out or we stop our advertising. You hit them where it hurts, with the money. That's what you do, kids. The money. All right. We'll see you. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless the nation you happen to be in. See ya.